Okay, I am going to just build a really quick single-sided print that's going to shoot out on the Frontier or the Chromera. And just real quick, I'm just going to make, I'll just make a crazy product. So actually, you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to just copy one like I should here. I'm going to make a 2x2 print. So I'm going to use the 3x3 for a sample. And I'm just going to hit the little red box to yellow box like this. And then I'm gonna call it 2x2. I'm just changing everything, 2 space x space 2 space, and then the 2x2, and then it's gonna print out on a 4x6. So image width is 2 inch, image height is 2 inch, base price is 50 cents. It's a single. And I got to change this, my right margin. So this is where it's positioning it on the 4x6. There we go, bottom. So it's just going to stick it to the right margin, bottom, and the right. That's where the 2x2 is going to sit within on a 4x6. That's the code, the PicPro code. I am not going to make this active or released. Just I don't want people seeing it as we do it. So single print, and then insert, and it should be here. Okay, so this all looks good. All right, so now I'm going to look at the 3x3 as an example here. And again, you know, I'm big into taking screenshots. So I'm just going to take a screenshot here, and so I can reference what is done. It's not going to get everything on this screenshot, but we'll be really close. And so, all right, I think we're good there. I can bring up that screenshot. Hold, bear with me. Bear with me. Okay, bring that screenshot up. Boom, boom. Okay, close this one. All right. You know what I was thinking is maybe you can't see the screenshots uh, because they're not in the window, so I don't know. Anyways, I'm going to go back here and I'm going to click 2x2, and the first thing we need to add is a paper type and Fuji CA luster. So, and then is paper type, and then we're going to go to effect, and then the effect would be standard, and then it's a number 10 prints, no added price, da 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 da, and we should hit insert, and let me just, yep, that is it. So if we wanted it only to be print on luster, we could keep it just like this, but that's not the case. We're gonna want this on metallic and pearl. So I think I can just hit this little action and duplicate this paper type standard, and then I can go into metallic. And then there's something here. So metallic costs more than standard paper, so we have to add an offset into here. So this is where we use the added price. I'm just going to put something in. It's going to cost 20 cents more. I'm just going to put this as active and release, and so insert. Come on, baby. All right, so you can see the added price here, and then if you reference a screenshot, you'll see everything that has an added price. So how the products work are, like when you choose styrene as a mount or spray, you have to add what that what the cost is for that option that you're adding on, and that goes into the added price. So let's move on to the next one. Let's go to the mounting and finishing. So I'm just going to copy it again. That's going to get us basically close, and then we're going to select mounting and finishing, and then we're going to go to the mount, and then let's look for board. Oh, come on, metal. So what we define as mount, anything a photo gets adhered to or printed on. So metal would be a mount, canvas would be a mount, Mendoza would be a mount, styrene's a mount. So here is here's the styrene mount right here, and the added price is going to copy over. So it's like, let's just put $4 or whatever it is. I don't know, $4. Okay, and we don't want to check the box on the Gallery folders because these are going to go out to Pick Pro. So we want to make sure that these files get parsed in Pick Pro. And I just want to make sure that my processing method is correct for mounting, which it is. Yeah, it is. So it would be defined as prints. So, and I see something I need to change here. So let's go ahead and insert this, and then a metallic, I believe a metallic, the description, hold on here. Oh, the processing method on metallic. I think we need to, processing method. I think it's metallic. And I think it's metallic A. I'll have to double check. I think the A and B attributes is A is Frontier, B is coming out on the Chrome. So let me just, we're going to take a little peek. I'm going to update this. Yeah, that's the way it's supposed to look. So let's go back to let's go back to the list, and let's look at an enlargement. Let's look at something that we know that has to come out on the Chromera. So we're going to go to 16 by 20 here. Hit this button. Yeah, so the processing method is different. So it's not just standard prints, it's enlargements B. So the processing method is a little bit different on that. Anyways, so like I said, we're gonna follow the example products, for the print size. If it was coming out on a Frontier, look at something that's going to print on a Frontier, like a 5x7 or an 8x10. Let's just look at this. We'll just pull up an 8x10 really quick. And it should have, yeah, so just regular prints, metallic A, deep matte A. So that's the processing method is defined a long time ago, many moons ago, when we first started this. Enlargements go the processing method is different for an enlargement than it is for a Frontier print. But that being said, I know sometimes we print UnitPrints 8x10s on the Chromera, so it must be, we must be able to work around that. So again, look at the gallery wraps, look at how metal is, blah blah blah. So as you go through this, it's just always good to reference, but there is nothing too tricky. There is nothing too tricky about adding a standard product. The more difficult one would be a double-sided. So I'm going to go ahead and delete this 2x2, and let's see here, delete, and uh-oh, I don't know. No, well, let's see here. I don't know what's going on. Let's go to the admin, products. I think it has to be active and released before we can update it. So hold on, let's try this again. Huh. I don't know. That's weird. All right. Well. Let's. Don't know what is going on here. Why we can't delete that, but I'll find out. I'm not too worried about it. Let's see if we can just get rid of these effects first. We should be able to delete we should be able to just hit the X button, but since the database sometimes behaves a little strange. Yep, there it is. So I think what happened there is we didn't have all the features listed. You know, like when I say that, it is all the features, like all the different mounting, boutique packaging, and the database is, you know, the architecture of this is very old. It's sitting on an all new platform, but you know, as far as on AWS, it's sitting on a new platform, but it is a database. She's just a little, can be a little cranky sometimes. So it's pretty easy. Once you do it a few times, you should be okay. So I'm going to end this video here. My next video is just going to go through some of the different tools that we have within the admin panel. Anyways, thanks for watching.